After the Brexit vote and the decision for the UK to leave the EU, there have been a number of racist incidents reported, not just on social media, but actual cases where people have dealt with those discriminating against them. Now, according to the Washington Post, through the weekend, post-ref racism has been trending, and its contents provide a disheartening view of how Britain's vote to leave the European Union may be emboldening those who harbor virulent racist sentiments. So that part of the Washington Post reporting on this just spoke volumes to me, because you see the parallels, as we've mentioned before, between the UK and the United States. You have someone like Trump coming out and saying what he says about Mexicans and Muslims and anyone who's not white, pretty much. And it emboldens those who have felt this way for a long time to come forward with their own hatred. Now, let me give you some specific examples of what's happened over the weekend. Police in West London were investigating what they called a racially motivated attack against the Polish Social and Cultural Association. The organization's building was apparently defaced with graffiti that said "Go home." And then also in Cambridgeshire, leaflets were apparently distributed with "Leave the EU, no more Polish vermin," written in both English and Polish.
If you're wondering what in the world, if you don't live in the UK, like, why randomly an attack against the Polish? It turns out there are more Polish immigrants in the UK than any other group of immigrants.
Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of people thought that this was only about Muslims, but it's not just about Muslims. It's about anyone in the UK that isn't originally from the UK, right? So this whole notion about, oh, we got to preserve our culture. I mean, the people who keep fighting in favor of that need to understand that, culture is an interesting thing. People are going to marry different cultures. We're all going to become one massive culture. It's happening in the United States as well. You can't just expect, people from the UK to marry people from the UK and vice versa. Things are going to change. You're fighting a losing battle. That's what I'm trying to say.
Change is constant.
Yes.
And so go ahead and try to fight it, but you're fighting against the windmills. You're destined to be the losers of history. And that's why conservatives, in the end, never win. Like, oh, God damn it, the world changed again. Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah. So, look, there were a lot of examples on social media, Twitter specifically, where people were saying hateful things. I'll give you one example. Last night, a Sikh radiographer? What the hell is a radiographer?
That's not something we use here in the U.S.
Is that like a disc jockey or something?
Maybe, I don't know. It's a term that they use apparently more often in the UK.
Anyway, so last night, a Sikh colleague of mine was told by a patient, "Shouldn't you be on a plane back to Pakistan? We voted you out." So that's just one example, and there were a lot of them, and they were pretty terrible. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because when we covered the Brexit vote on Friday, people are like, "No, it has nothing to do with racism, no." Come on, man, who are you kidding? I'm not saying everyone who voted to leave did it for those reasons. There are people feeling severe economic pressure right now, and they're angry and they want change, and I totally understand that. But to deny or ignore the fact that there is some chunk of the Brexit voters who voted to leave because they don't like the foreigners, I think you're naive, to say the least.
So we've got to explain this apparently in every single story. We don't live in a black and white world. There's a spectrum of everything. So there's a spectrum of people who voted on Brexit. Some of them did it for liberal reasons, some of them did it for conservative reasons, some of them did it for racist reasons. Some percentage of them, if you think no percentage of them voted for racist reasons, you're not living in the real world. And unfortunately, it appears based on the media reporting that it was a significant percentage that did it based on, and I don't mean racist as in the guy goes in there and says, "I hate the N-words," although some of their leaders have said things like that, or "I hate," and he uses offensive words against the Chinese, etc. Nigel Farage has done that from time to time. So, but it doesn't have to be that form of racism. Some of it is that way. That's another percentage. Another percentage is, I don't know, I kind of liked it the way it used to be when we all looked alike and we all spoke alike. So now, if you say that that's racism, people are like, "No, but it was great when we were all white." I mean, so you got to check yourself. You got to understand it's a slightly more subtle form of bigotry, but it is. And so, okay. And then the other spectrum is from the voters themselves, an individual. They have a number of reasons they might have voted for Brexit.
Right.
And some of it might be, hey, because I've got real concerns about sovereignty. And some of it might be, I got real concerns about that Pakistani guy down the street or the Polish guy down the street.
Right.
So that's also the reality. And finally, why more of the incidents after the vote? That's interesting, right? Because there might have been a lot of incidents that led up to the vote. There might be a lot of incidents, if they're angry, they lost the vote. But usually what winds up happening is there'll be more incidents after they win a vote.
Right, of course.
You know why? Because it normalizes and legitimizes that racism. It's happening with Trump. There's a lot more incidents after Trump won the Republican primaries. That's because people go, oh, thank God, I didn't realize it was okay to be racist, but he just won, so apparently it's totally okay.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to act on it. And that is partly what is happening with Brexit.